to say howdy. This is me going to the UPS, trying to find a place that's open so that I could ship that box right there. There are two boxes behind it, and there's this box. First, we're going to the post office. The whole point in me telling you this story is that as I got older, and you know, I'm old enough now to know how to handle a car in bad conditions. You know when a car is sliding one way, you just automatically correct for it the proper way because you learned it as a kid. You know, I don't want a kid coming to me in the middle of the road either, you know, at 90 miles an hour in a snowstorm. But, you know, there ought to be a place where kids can go and do donuts in the snow and drive stupidly and do things so they learn how to operate a car. That's all I'm saying. The other thing that happened today is I had some eBay auctions close, and I had one auction where I had a 40-pound box and a 10-pound box, and in my description I said, wait, don't pay right away. I put in an estimated cost based on the size of one box and one weight. Your shipping fees could be more. Your shipping fees could be more, could be less, but wait for me and I'm going to give you actual shipping. Wait for me to invoice you. Well, the auction ends and the guy pays right away. $6.31 short. So now I got to send him an email and say, okay, well, I don't charge anything for packing and handling. I don't pad my shipping. I don't do any of that. I've never done that. So the guy pays right away. So now he's going to think I'm a jerk asking him for another $6.30. You know, like, well, you should have eBay. That was your estimate. I didn't bother to, you know, I know that's what's coming. The other deal with eBay I noticed on some of the things I bid for is on LPs. Why on earth does anybody selling records want to send them to you priority mail? If I see a record, you know, I want to bid on, it's in California and the guy wants $11 to ship it to me, priority mail, I'm not going to bid on it. I don't care what it is. Media mail is one of the few pleasures left in life. Subsidized pleasures, I'm sure. Nothing's free. But why don't people take advantage of it? They salt the roads too much. That's the other problem I've always had, is that well, this car's falling apart. And it wouldn't if it wasn't for all this darn salt in the snow, the roads. So that my other question today is, why do we salt roads? How much money does it cost to salt roads, and how much money does it cost to replace rusted out cars compared to the impact on the economy? So, are you feeling more like Manic Mark these days? So the other thing that happened, which was interesting, is I'm in the record store where I bought Bongos, Bongos, Bongos. And Bongos, Bongos, Bongos was not Bongos, Bongos, Bongos. I was excited about the electronic organ music with bongos, okay? So I told him that I was excited about it. I get it home and it doesn't have anything on there. It's the wrong damn record. But, you know, I noted that several of the LPs I bought there were like two times the price of what you could get them for on eBay, actually even with shipping. So anyway, I'm going through records, and he's talking to somebody that walks into the store, and he's complaining about kids coming in, needing more people to come into the store, but kids are a problem because kids have like cell phones and phones that connect to the internet, and they look up prices while they're standing in his store, the stuff that he's selling, and it's killing his business. The snowplow got the box again. Oh man. I hope there's a fun record in my mailbox. That'll be good. I got some good ones on the way. I missed the record called Miracle Sisters. I didn't miss it, I was outbid. Apparently, other people found it amusing. I just found it sad. A record that some woman produced. She's sitting in her living room playing the organ and singing with her challenged daughter. Looks like she may have something worse than Down syndrome, like banging on a wood block or shaking a thing, you know. And that would have been great. That would have been great. You know, it would have been mean. It would have been very mean to hold that up for what it is. But I would just do that. I would just say, here's an album that's unusual. I would not make fun of people like that. I'm telling you right now, I won't do that. I won't do that. But you got to accept who you are, you know? I accept that I'm retarded. We're all retarded. How many times have you said that, how can that person be president of the United States and do that? You know, or somebody has a great job and makes a lot of money, but you talk to them and you wonder, how could this person have a great job and, you know, be financially secure? Not that you know that that's the case, but nonetheless, like with no common sense. And that's what you say. That person has no common sense. How can they hold down a job like that? What you're saying is, how could this person have a better life than myself when they're an idiot? Okay, it's me, I'm back. I'm back. You notice that the box is still in the back of the Jeep. So I take it, I drag the box in there. You know, it's a 66-pound box. It's awkward, but I can lift it. So drag it into the store, put it on the scales, fill out the paperwork, and the woman says, well, which way do you want to send this? And I said, oh, well, you know, I just thought UPS, and I said, are there other options? She said, FedEx, and I said, well, you know, what's the best option? And she says, well, going UPS, it's going to cost you $305. And I blurted out, what the I said, you got to be shitting me. That's what I said. So, it's like FedEx, she said it would be $65. Anyway, that figure just went right through my head. I said, bro, so she said, why don't you go home and print out the label and do it that way. I'm thinking to myself, well, you know, I went through all the steps of figuring it out online. I thought I would just take it someplace and drop it. And so anyway, Tank, I won't be shipping this until tomorrow. I gotta go, let's see what happens when I print out the label. And but I told the woman, I said, do you realize that I dropped another chair about this size and this weight at another package ship place, and they packed it for me and shipped it, and it was $250 some. And she just looked at me. Well, she apologized. I had no idea. You know, I'm willing to pay them a few dollars, you know, to print a label out for me.
I think we should work with these. I just keep them on all day.
Tag team. Just like to say, Kim, you're you're watching this going, oh my God, he hates me. No, I don't hate you. Everything's just fine. It's the shippers that cause me no end of frustration. Because no matter how you figure things out, it's going to be wrong. That's the thing. I could have, you know, spent another hour trying to figure this out, and it's going to be more. It's going to be wrong. You're going to miss the fine print. Some's not going to be right. They do this all the time. For a package I've already packed, see, for $300, I'd drive it up myself. That just cost me $300 in gas to get to New Jersey. And then we could go get something to eat and a tattoo. We could get a tattoo together. Feel any sense of?
I need a nickname like that.
Yeah. What's your wrestling name?
I ought to come up with one.